High Call series.
So, hi children, good morning. In the previous episode, we have discussed about the third chapter, that is wild animals. So, in that chapter, we have learned the different wild animals, that is small size wild animals and big size wild animals, and also the different types of wild animals based on their food habits, that is carnivorous animals, herbivorous animals, and omnivorous animals. So now, in this episode, we are going to discuss the fourth chapter, that is domestic animals. So children, what are the domestic animals? So in this chapter, we will learn about what are the different types of domestic animals and what are the uses of the domestic animals and what are the different food items that are coming from the domestic animals. So children, so let us see what are the domestic animals. So children, so those animals, so which are grown in our houses, that means those animals which are depend upon human beings and which are depend upon their food and shelter on the human beings are called domestic animals. So for example, we will observe different types of domestic animals in our surroundings. So what are the animals we will grow in our houses? So and what are the animals we will grow in our houses and we will give shelter and food and we will also give protection to those animals. So what are the domestic animals? So could you give examples for those domestic animals? So here, if you take the examples for the domestic animals, that is cows. So that is cows and buffaloes. So children, cows, buffaloes and goats, sheep. So children, so these are the domestic animals. So not only this, so another also there, those are dogs and cats and horses and donkeys. So all these are the domestic animals. So why? Because so these animals depends upon human beings for their food and shelter. And these animals will do a lot of work to our human beings. That means they help the human beings in different ways. And not only these animals, some birds will also grow in our houses. So what are the birds that will grow in our houses? So if you take a parrot, pigeon, so these are the some birds that will grow in our houses. So children, so these animals are called domestic animals. And these animals will give a lot of helpful. That means these are very helpful to human beings. So what are the uses of domestic animals? And what are the different kinds of domestic animals? So if you take, so that means cows and buffaloes. So some domestic animals helps in farming, that is cultivation. So that is, if you take buffaloes and cows, these are very helpful in farming. That is cultivation. So these are helpful to human beings in cultivation. And also if you take goats, so they give a lot of milk. So and if you take sheep, they give wool to human beings. And whereas if you take dogs, they will guard our houses. And these cats are the pet animals. So these are the different domestic animals, and there are a lot of uses from these domestic animals. So let us see what are the different uses of these domestic animals in detail. So first, what are the products and what are the food items that are coming from the domestic animals? So what are the uses of the domestic animals? So let us see. So most of the domestic animals. So most of the domestic animals will give us milk. Some domestic animals gives us milk, and some animals gives us eggs, and some animals will gives us flesh. So milks, eggs, and flesh. And also, so some animals gives fibers, that is wool. And also some animals gives us silk. And some insects will give us honey. So children, so these are the uses of domestic animals. So these are the uses of domestic animals. That is, so some animals gives us milk. So which animals gives us milk? So children, could you give examples for those animals which gives us milk? So if you take cows, so cows and goats, so these animals will give us milk. And this milk is very a nutritious food and very healthy food because the milk contains most of the vitamins and proteins. So that's why so milk is very healthy to our body, especially to children, and also milk is very helpful, very healthy to the persons of any age. And there are so many uses of milk, and we can make different kinds of things by using milk. Those are called milk products. So what are the milk products? So the products, that means the things which are obtained from the milk are called milk products. So what are the milk products, children? So what we can obtain from the milk? So what different objects can be obtained from the milk? So we can prepare ghee and butter and cheese, ice cream, etc. So children, so these are the different milk products. So all these products which are obtained from the milk are milk products, and all these products are very healthy and very nutritious and very helpful to our body. And if you eat these milk products, they will give and they will build our body. They will give you a lot of proteins and vitamins and minerals to our body. So that's why, so the main use of some animals is milk. So some domestic animals gives us milk, and most of the children, that is small babies, will feed on this milk. So this milk is very helpful to monthly babies. So that's why, so milk. The second one is eggs. So most of the human beings will eat eggs also. But where can we obtain these eggs? And what animals will give us eggs? So children, so could you give examples for the animals which gives us eggs? So that are mainly hens. So hens and ducks. So children, hens and ducks gives us eggs. So these eggs are very nutritious food, and they contain a lot of proteins. And these proteins are helpful to our body and to grow our body and to make our body very strong. So that's why, so at the age of mainly the school age children should eat at least one egg daily, so that eggs will helpful their body to grow their body and to make their body very strong and fit. So that's why, so some animals, for example, hens and ducks, so these are the birds, and these birds will help us and they produce eggs. So that's why some people will also grow these hens and ducks in their houses, because they will lay eggs, and by selling those eggs, so they will get some income, and they will give some the family income due to their eggs. And children, so see the next one. So what is the next use of the animals? That is the flesh. So we will eat the flesh of different animals. So where do we get this flesh? So generally we will eat the flesh of some animals like goat and hens. So children, what animals we can eat the flesh of? Animals like goat, and we will eat the flesh of hens, and also we will eat fishes. We will eat the flesh of fishes. So children, so generally every day or weekly once or twice we will eat the flesh of goat, hens and fishes. So these animals will give us flesh, and this flesh this meat also contains most of the proteins. So that's why this proteinaceous food helpful to our body, to grow our body and to make our body very strong and fit. And next, that is wool. So children, what is wool? So where do we get this wool? So generally in winter, what type of clothes we will wear? So generally some people or some children and generally they will wear some sweaters. So why we will wear sweaters in the winter? So because in winter season the temperature is very less and cold, and to prevent from that low temperatures in winter season we will wear some sweaters and some blankets. So with which those sweaters are made up of? So the sweaters are made up of wool. And generally we will wear woolen clothes in winter season because these woolen clothes so keep our bodies warm and protects from the cool temperatures in the winter season. So our body will be kept warm by these woolen clothes. That's why we will wear woolen clothes in the winter season. So where do we get the wool? So which animal gives us wool? So here wool is a natural fiber. So children, generally we will wear different types of clothes made up of cotton, and some clothes made up of wool and some clothes made up of silk. So this wool, silk and cotton are called natural fibers. So here wool is a natural fiber because these fibers will be obtained from the animals. So those fibers which are obtained from the plants and animals are called natural fibers. Here wool is obtained from the animal sheep. So wool is obtained from sheep. So that's why wool is a natural fiber. So where do we get wool? So we can obtain the wool from the sheep. So children, so these sheep will get wool for us, and they will cut the fleeces. Fleeces means hair-like structures on their bodies are called fleeces. So the cutting of fleeces on their body is called shearing. So by using the process shearing, so those cut the fleeces on their body. That means they will cut the hair present on their bodies of the sheep. So the cutting of the wool, that means the cutting of the hair present on the sheep is called shearing. So children, so after cutting the wool, so that will be woven into a thread-like structures, and that will be sent to factories by using that woolen fibers. So we can weave different types of clothes like sweaters and blankets. So children, so this is wool. So wool is obtained from the sheep. So most of the sheep, that is, so some sheep only gives a lot of wool, like merino races sheep. They will give a better quality wool. So next one is silk. So what is silk? So children, so here silk is also one of the natural fiber. So already we have discussed that there are three types of natural fibers. One is the wool and another one is silk, and there is another one called cotton. So here silk is also called natural fiber because the silk is obtained from animals, that is insects. So which insect produces silk? Silkworm. So which insect produces? That is silkworm. So this silkworm produces silk. We can obtain the silk from silkworms. So children, how the silkworm produces silk? So generally these silkworms are insects, and the silkworms are feeded on the mulberry leaves. So that is, what are mulberry leaves? The mulberry leaves are the food for the silkworm. So that's why these silkworm insects are placed on the mulberry leaves, and they will eat the mulberry leaves and produces thread-like structures from their mouths. And that thread-like structures will wrap around their body, and that is called cocoon. So children, so listen carefully how the silkworm produces silk. So here generally the silkworms are feeded on the mulberry leaves. So what are those leaves? Those leaves are called mulberry leaves. So the silkworms will eat these mulberry leaves and produces thin fiber-like structures, and these thin fibers wind, that is wrapped around their body. So that structure is called cocoon. And these cocoons are boiled in the water, and we can get that thread. That thread is called silk, and silk thread is looking very shiny and very attractive. And these fibers which are obtained from the cocoon are wound on wheels, and they are sent to factories. So by using these silk threads, they will weave different types of clothes. So the clothes made up of silk are very costly, but they are looking very attractive. So children, so this is the silk. So we obtain the silk from the silkworm. So children, see next, what is it? Honey. So what is honey? So everyone like very much honey, because honey is a sweet liquid and it can be stored for longer time and it cannot be spoiled. So it can be stored for a longer time. So where do we get honey? So honey will be obtained from honeybees. So which insects prepare honey? So honey will be prepared by the insects called honeybees. So honeybees. So these honeybees are the small insects, and they will collect the nectars from the flowers, and they will convert that nectar. So nectar means a sugar, that means a sugar type liquid, and which is sweet in smell, that is which is sweet in taste. So that nectar will be converted into honey, and they will store that honey at their places, and we will get honey from the honeybees. So this honey is a very healthy food, and it will be used in the medicines also, like in Ayurvedic medicines. And this honey will be very helpful and very healthy to small children. So children, so at the age of the old age people can also take this honey, and it is very healthful and very helpful to their bodies. So children, so these are the different uses of domestic animals. So not only domestic animals, there are some also birds and insects which gives us different types of food and it gives us clothes. So from this we can understood that so these animals and insects give food for us to eat, and also they are giving clothes to wear. So here, so milk, eggs, flesh, and these are the food items obtained from the animals and birds. And this wool and silk are the fibers which are helpful to woo the, that means to weave the cloths. And next, honey, it is a sweet syrupy liquid. So these are the different food items and different threads, that is different types of cloths obtained from the wool and silk. So children, so this is about the chapter, so domestic animals. So children, so in the domestic animals, there are some animals called pet animals. So what are pet animals? So what is the difference between domestic animals and pet animals? So here, domestic animals are those animals which depend upon the human beings for their food and shelter, and if we provide food and shelter, those animals, they will do a lot of work for us. For example, if you take horse and donkey and elephant, they will carry the loads. And what are the pet animals? So these pet animals will grow in our houses for the amusement and for our entertainment only. And we will play with the pet animals, and that means we will grow these pet animals in our houses for the recreation, for the amusement, and for the entertainment only. So what are the examples for the pet animals? So generally, most of the pet animals are the dogs and cats. So most of the people will grow these animals, dogs and cats, in their houses. So here, what does the dogs do? Here, dogs will guard our houses. That means they will watch our houses during the night time and prevent our houses from the thefts. And what is the cat? Here, so cat is the animal which is grown in our houses for the amusement, and we will play with the cats. So those are called pet animals. So which are grown in our houses for our amusement or for our recreation or for our entertainment. So children, we should take care about pet animals. So because so if we do not take care about the pet animals, they will cause a lot of diseases to us. So that's why everyone should take care about pet animals. If they got any injuries or if they got any diseases or if they are have ill health, we should take them to the veterinary doctor. And also we should give vaccination to these pet animals. So these are the pet animals. This is about pet animals. The examples for the pet animals are cats and dogs. So children, so this is about the chapter domestic animals and pet animals. So this is the end of the chapter, and the next chapter will be continued in the next episode.